Hello, my name is Jason Baker, and today I will be giving an informative presentation on SpaceX's reusable rocket cores and what if every car only had one use? What if you drove it once, then it spontaneously combusted or broke down? Not very intuitive, right? Well, while humanity is generally guided by intuition to get things done, it tends to break down during time restraints and the lack of proper technology. This was extremely prevalent during the 1960s when we saw the era known as the space race have huge pressure put on it because of the Cold War and the lack of technology. However, we're no longer in the 1960s, and the threat of the Cold War is no longer a thing. So, this has allowed a new leader in space technology, SpaceX, to come in and really take over the game and change the game with its new reusable rocket cores and engines. Alright. In 2017, SpaceX made history by reusing its first reusable core, which was known as Falcon 9, which has also been used many times in the future, right up to 2020. It's been used multiple times. Vidya Reddy from New Space, a journalist from New Space, said that this was a major breakthrough and would put us really far ahead, put SpaceX really far ahead. This is because it's going to really set the goals that we had in the future, the goals like colonizing Mars, space elevators, stuff like that, is really going to get it closer to us and is really going to be within our grasp now. The reusable part of the rocket is the rocket core and the boosters, which is really what causes the reactions that make the rocket go up, essentially. And previously, the companies and organizations that would build this, NASA mostly, would have to build these stages and just dump them in the ocean because they're not going to use them again. However, as stated by the CEO of SpaceX, Elon Musk, with the standardization of the rockets, more time and effort can be focused on improving and designing new spacecraft. What Elon is saying here is that now that they have a good design and they can reuse their rockets, it's going to be a lot easier in the future, and they're going to be able to allocate more resources to other things to really put them ahead. The next big benefit is really the economics of it. As you can see with this picture over here, all the stages, most of the stuff is what's being reused, and you can see how much of it is just how much of it costs. But I'll show more with the statistics from NASA. Alright. So the next big benefit of the reusable rocket cores is the amount of money and labor that they save, which really makes it possible for the companies, especially SpaceX, to invest in other things without these because of how much it saves. To show the amount of money they really spend on this kind of stuff, I pulled some statistics from NASA, and as you can see right there, NASA's a government organization, so they have to tell the government what they're going to spend money on. And in an article from 2019, this is what they had. Rocket stages and cores for $1.4 billion, and boosters were $107 million. This is over $1.5 billion every single year, and it's only going up. So if we can decrease this, it's gonna save them a lot of money, especially the bigger companies that aren't supported by the government or fully supported by the government. In a study done by Matthew Richardson and Dominic Hardy, they found that up to 93% of the money can be saved with just using reusable rocket cores, or the ones designed by SpaceX. That's a very large amount. That could save billions every single year just for the companies to allocate more resources and change around the stuff. This could really set them ahead. Alright, with the advent of the new spacefaring tech like reusable cores, the industry can only go forward. Like development, improvement, discovery is all going to keep improving. It's going to at an exponential rate now. We are really looking forward to the next 10 to 20 years of space exploration and discovery and stuff like that. It's going to be huge. While relatively new, SpaceX has already seen huge success in its reusable cores by making history this summer by sending 2 astronauts up to the ISS from American soil. This is the first time in over 40 years, I believe, because it was last done with the Apollo missions. And with reduction of cost, new areas may be explored, which will put far future goals such as colonizing Mars, space elevators, all within our grasp. Nevertheless, SpaceX, with its reusable rocket cores, is really changing the space game.